Hey everyone, how are we today? I'm just going to do a quick all signs reading today. Now, we've just had the eclipse, not the eclipse, the new moon a few days ago there. So, I'm just feeling quite a fair bit of lingering, sort of really heavy energy. So I just sort of wanted to help clear out some of that heavy energy because there's obviously some stuff going on for everybody at the moment when it comes to setting their new intentions with the new moon and, you know, getting rid of that lingering negative sort of energy there, guys. So today I'm going to be using the red hand lenormand, which does tend to deal pretty well with that heavy energy I have sort of found. And we are going to be also sort of looking a little bit into the past and where things may have gone wrong for us in the past connection. Okay, so we are sort of looking at your past person tonight, as well as any messages from them, because I do have the hidden truth oracle here as well. But yeah, just really wanting to clear out some of that heavy energy and sort of get to the bottom of it for us all and see what is going on. Okay, so um, as you can all probably tell, I do have a new background as well. So leave me a comment and let me know what you think about the new curtain that I've got here with the lights. And anyone that does comment will go in the draw for a free personal reading as well. And make sure you subscribe so you can keep updated when that comes out. But obviously I will be keeping timestamps as well. So I'll get started here with Aries. How are we today, Aries? I'm just getting rid of some of this lingering energy around. Okay, so Aries, what's got... I actually feel like we should start for you, Aries, with the oracle. So I'll use this hidden truth oracle and see what this is all about for us there. Aries and the past person, please. Aries and the past person. Okay, so Aries, we have I am becoming a better person. Okay, so someone feels as though they're going through some self-growth. We also have I hide behind material things. Okay, so they may come across as quite materialistic, but that's kind of a facade from the feel of that there. And we also have the I love you card, Aries. So, whoever this is, there is some strong feelings still there from the feel of that. Okay, so what I will do is I will just grab a couple of cards to sort of see what's going on with this past connection. What's going on for Aries with this past connection, please? Okay, and I'll grab some advice as well. Advice for Aries with this past person, please. Advice for Aries with this past connection, please. Okay, so we do have there with what's going on in this connection. It's quite interesting, Aries. I have the masculine there with the feminine on the other side of this house. Okay, so we have, you can kind of see they're both even facing each other, the masculine and the feminine, with this house sitting in between them. So, the house is all about stability and security. So, both of you kind of looking back at that, I feel, and looking at that sense of security that was between you guys, the possible stability, this sense of home, this sense of family that was between you both there. I do feel as though you both are sort of somehow this is quite important to you both. it doesn't matter whether you're the masculine or the feminine. Obviously, they've both come out looking at this house energy. So both of you, you yourself and this person, I am becoming a better person. So maybe both of you are actually using this sort of energy from the past, this reminiscent sort of energy, looking back at, the sense of home that you had with each other, and using it to help you sort of become better people in the future and in future connections. Um, like I said, there is still quite a lot of love coming from your person towards you, and then with that message of I hide behind material things, maybe they presented that their home was sort of more important to them, or that sense of home, may have, that created a lot of materialistic issues between the two of you there. So that's sort of what's going on currently. I feel as though you're both kind of looking back at, what was between you guys, and sort of maybe both looking at it slightly differently. But it does feel as though, with that house imagery, that there was this beautiful sense of stability somehow between the two of you, and, that sense of home with each other. Excuse me. But then when it comes to your advice, Aries, we do have the chains followed by the bear and the ship. Okay, so anyone that does follow my videos will know that we have seen this bear energy in quite a few of the Aries readings lately. Okay, and what it's kind of telling us here with those chains is that, this bear energy, you're kind of chained down into that at the moment. You're it's kind of holding you back. This bear energy is chaining you in spot. It's not allowing you to progress, and not allowing you to move into this ship energy. Okay, so the bear energy is all about, I feel in this particular sense we're talking about, being quite overprotective of ourselves, being bound to our own self protection in some way there, Aries. So that's probably going to mean a few different things to all of you, but your advice is to kind of break those chains and stand in your power, stand strong and break those chains in order to move forward into this ship energy. Now the ship energy, as advice for sort of what to do with this connection, there is an element of, as we saw in your, I believe it was the reading yesterday, we saw the ship energy as well, where it's like start that journey, start traveling towards this person maybe. It feels as though there is, sometimes I do get this energy with, especially for Aries. Okay, I have personal reasons that this connects to Aries in particular, but it's that kind of vibe of, part of the ship. You guys are part of the ship together. It's not a journey without each other kind of a vibe. So I am kind of getting the vibe that, traveling towards this person, even if you're not actually wanting to reconcile with this person, you may need some closure when it comes to this connection, Aries, because, with that house energy coming through as well as the ship, it does really sort of feel as though there is a little bit of a need for closure, and to tie up all these loose ends between the two of you. If there was that huge sense of family and home in between the two of you, and then, when I get that vibe of part of the ship, it's kind of like, in Pirates of the Caribbean, how he literally becomes part of the ship, because that becomes his, home, and he sort of melds into it. It really does talk about that as well. So I feel it's like, a similar element to that house element there, but this one is sort of traveling and starting that journey and setting sail into, breaking these chains that you're holding yourself in, Aries. It does feel quite important, because especially too, there on the bottom of the deck, I do have the book energy, and the book energy is all about, starting new chapters, writing new parts of the story for yourself there. So I do feel as though it's important for you to, as we saw in yesterday's reading, to sort of start taking some actions, Aries. And if this person is somebody that you do have some, closure issues with, or you do want to reconcile with, I would be sort of saying to maybe move forward towards that particular person, even if they are at a bit of a distance. That could talk about, physical distance as well. So I would sort of say that does look like breaking those chains around yourself may actually involve moving towards this person. And if it's not this person, it's talking about moving towards new chapters for yourself, okay? But, that is going to be a little bit different for each and every Aries. So I'll leave that to you to decide. You're going to know your feelings on the situation better than me. But we'll move over to Taurus. How are we today, Taurus? I'm just making sure I've got the correct timestamps here. Okay, so Taurus, we're going to start with the Hidden Truth Oracle. All right, we're having a look at your past person. Taurus and their past person, please. Okay, so Taurus and your past person, we both know that I'm not the one for you. Okay, so feels like we both know that we're not right for each other, kind of a vibe. Obviously there was some sort of issues there where we're kind of realizing that may not have been our person. Just being near you is intoxicating. So the word intoxicating obviously has the word toxic in it. So, if being near someone is intoxicating, it does sometimes have that vibe of, possessiveness or obsessiveness with that as well, okay? And I hope that you can forgive me one day. So they really are, hoping for your forgiveness. Obviously feeling as though they're being near you is sort of still intoxicating to them, and is sort of wrapping them up in some kind of a way, getting them feeling some kind of a way if they are near you. But they are aware that, there's issues within this connection that are sort of irretrievable with that. We both know I'm not the one for you. And they still are asking for your forgiveness, though, Taurus. Taurus and this past person, what's going on with this connection, please? Okay, and advice for Taurus. Advice for Taurus, please. Okay, so what's going on in this connection? We do have the book, the garden, and then the moth energy. Okay, so I feel as though this actually is talking about you are, what's going on in this connection is one or both of you are actually starting brand new chapters separately. Okay, so I feel as though, the garden really does talk about social stuff and meetings and those sorts of things. So I do feel as though we're meeting a new chapter, where we're possibly meeting new people that are sort of transforming the way that we do think about things. That moth is all about that metamorphosis, that transformation. Okay, so meeting people in the near future, I feel, currently unknown people. With that book, it can talk about the unknown chapters, but meetings being important, some social things being important, could be talking about advice from friends, that kind of a thing. But these are going to actually help you transform your energy and move forward. Okay, so definitely I feel as though meeting new people, and that's going to help you transform this past energy into something completely different. So I do feel as though it's talking about somebody different as well. All right. Now, your advice, we do have the clouds and the animus, which is the masculine. So, the thing that both these cards have in common is that they're both heavy duty in the thoughts. They're both quite logical, thinking things through. Okay. Sometimes with the clouds, we can see, overthinking. So, just be careful not to be overthinking and getting yourself anxious at this time. But the masculine energy is very stoic and thinks things through logically rather than emotionally. They are quite controlling when it comes to their own emotions, in control of their own emotions. So as advice for you, that's sort of letting you know, make sure you're thinking things through quite logically at this time. But also, the clouds do sort of let us know too that every cloud has a silver lining. The silver lining being that on the bottom of the deck, we do have the star energy there as well. So that really does talk about your wishes and your dreams, your hope and aspirations for the future. So really thinking through your hopes and wishes logically as well. Okay, so making sure we are aware of exactly what it is that we wish for in the future connections, and avoiding those things that we do not want, those things that do not bring us that optimism and hope. Okay, so really focusing on your dreams and thinking about those in quite a logical manner as well, Taurus. Okay, so we'll move over to Gemini. How are we, Gemini? Just looking at our past person today. Past person for Gemini, please. Past person for Gemini, please. Okay, Gemini, I feel you even though we are apart. So someone's still caught up in your energy from that. We both know that I'm not the one for you. Okay, so there is an amount of clarity there that this is not going to work. Again, it's not going to be reconciled, I don't feel, Gemini, with that particular card. Both aware that this is not, serving your highest good to be in this connection with this person. I remember every detail of that day. Okay, so some sort of memory that they're sort of going over in their head, could be a positive one, could be a negative one, but, a specific day or a specific event that they are reminiscing over when it comes to you, Gemini. Okay, what's going on with Gemini and this past connection, please? Okay, and advice for Gemini. Advice for Gemini. Okay, interesting. Okay, so what's going on in this connection? We do have the beetle, the bear, and the candle there as well. Okay, so the beetle and the bear are actually quite similar energy. The beetle is, sort of on guard, very armored, protecting the softer sides there, protecting the soft wings. And the bear energy is, a protective mama bear. So, if you get too close to the bear, she'll rip your face off. She protects her cubs there and herself, will stand up and rear up at you if you get too close. Okay, so they're both quite armored and protective. So I do feel as though there is an element here with this candle card, where you are trying to protect this old flame of yours in some way, shape, or form. You are a little bit overprotective of that past connection, that past, especially when it comes to desire and passion. There may have been quite a lot of desire and passion, and you're sort of wanting to, it feels as though this is you wanting to protect that and protect that sense that was there, even like Yeah, I feel as though you're still holding a bit of a flame for this person, with that candle card there, and you're quite, protective and a little bit defensive of when people sort of, um, even thinking about new compared to this old flame. I feel, you are kind of trying to protect that within your heart and hold on to that, quite strongly there. The other important thing about the bear is it does let us know, it's important to stand in your own power and stand strong, okay? Because what we're seeing for your advice, we do have the astral card as well as the hourglass card. So that's quite interesting, there, because even though I did earlier on say that there may not be any reconciliation within this connection, it does sort of show me that, in the future, that energy may actually change, okay? Especially with that hourglass, because that really is the divine timing card. So it may just not be right for now. In the future, that, time changes, energy changes. So in the future, it's kind of letting us know that divine timing is taking it under its wing, and divine timing is protecting that connection as well. And that, somewhere in the future, it may actually be the right time for you and that person. And with the astral there, it really does tell us about connecting with that person on an energetic level. Okay, so obviously there is a lot, more to it than what I can see in those initial cards. Okay, and there's obviously a reason you're protecting that flame. Is you may be quite intuitive and be aware that there is some sort of astral connection between you and this person. So sometimes that does talk about, dream space as well. You may be dreaming about that person, dreaming about the day when the day comes that the timing is actually right between you and this person. So that's quite interesting, Gemini. Like I said, right now we're feeling as though it's not sort of any energy, moving toward that at the moment, but in the future that feels like it may actually, change, and the opportunity to reconnect with this person may occur, in the future. I do feel as though, like I said, not right now. It's sort of not happening in the near future. This is going to be something that, when it's supposed to happen, it will happen. Okay, divine timing. Okay. And sometimes that, like I said, energy and time is, it changes all the time. So, if you are not wanting, um, that reconciliation in the future, let go of that flame. And if you are wanting that, maybe stay protective of that flame if that's, the best thing for your highest good at this time. All right. But yeah, I feel you while we're still apart. So that energetic connection is definitely still there, Gemini. Okay, so we'll have a look at Cancer. How are we today, Cancer? Just having a look today at the past person. Okay, so Cancer and their past person, please. Cancer and the past person. Okay, Cancer. I know I messed up everything. So feeling a lot of guilt. The timing just wasn't right for us. Timing may have been right person, wrong time. My life is not together as it seems. Okay, so this person feels like they are, in quite a, self-flagellating kind of energy. They're beating themselves up quite a lot at the moment about, they feel as though they messed up everything and that their life is not as together as it seems. They may, be putting on a brave face, but that's sort of hiding what's going on under the surface for your person. What's going on with Cancer and this past person, please? Okay, and advice for Cancer. Advice for Cancer with this past person. Okay. Pretty straightforward, Cancer. What's going on in this connection? We do have the heart, which is followed by the key, and then the clouds. Okay, so it feels as though that clouds energy is probably both of you actually thinking quite a lot about this past connection, thinking a lot about, the love that you shared and the opportunities for success that were there with this person. It does feel as though at some point it was quite a successful love connection, and that there was a lot of love, and you had opened up your heart to this person, okay, and you're both kind of really stuck in thought when it comes to each other. I feel with that clouds card. Now the actions that we're seeing for you to sort of be looking at in the near future, there we do have the hourglass, which is our divine timing card. So once again, we're mixing that with that the timing just wasn't quite right for us. So maybe it was the right person, wrong time, and you have kind of having to leave it up to the universe or spirit or whatever you want to call it, for when the timing is actually right. So if you do want to reconcile with that person, timing's just not quite right just as of yet, but you'll kind of know when the time is right, because they will come back into your life in some way, shape, or form, and it will be very suddenly and unexpected when that happens. Okay, so we do have the scythe following up that divine timing card. So it kind of feels like the universe is sort of, they've put it off to wait for the right time, and then as soon as it's the right time, we're just going to go swoop straight on in, and you guys are just bang, smash, and bump into each other or something random like that. But it will be quite sudden and unexpected. It will be a huge change when it does happen. It will make actually, like, I keep thinking, like, it's gonna like be waves crashing on the shore, big changes. It's gonna change the whole coastline of your story. Okay, so there's definitely still potential between you and this person. It's just not the right time for that at the moment. And time is one of them things that it does always change. Time and energy do ebb and flow. So, only time will sort of tell with that one, I must say, Cancer. But we'll move over to Leo. Hi, Leo. How are we today? I'm just looking at what's going on with you and your past person. Leo and the past person, please. Leo and the past person. That card is coming up. Had a few. This deck is like, look how big the deck is. There's heaps of cards in there. And I've had just a couple of cards just coming out every single reading, nearly. Okay. Leo and their past person, please. This shows how interconnected the web of us all is, right? Leo and the past person. Okay, the timing just wasn't right for us, Leo. I hope that you can forgive me one day. So this person's feeling a fair bit of guilt for some things that have happened in the past. And I wish I had have treated you better. So yeah, they want your forgiveness, and they are really obviously regretting the way that they have treated you within this connection, or the way that they have treated this connection in general. It feels as though I'm kind of feeling that it was kind of like just intuitively feeling that they did not put as much stock in this connection as they should have. And it's not until it's ended that they've realized how important that connection was. Okay, so it may be a case of right person, wrong time. They couldn't see it when they had it. Okay. So Leo and the past person, please. Leo and the past person. Okay, and advice for Leo, please. Advice for Leo. Okay, so what we're seeing in this past connection there, we have the Lily, which is followed by the Scythe card and the Clouds card there as well. So the Lily really does talk about emotional intimacy as well as longevity. Okay, so at one point you may have been on the path to a lot of emotional intimacy with this person. You may have thought that there was going to be sort of a long-standing connection with this person, but for some reason that did suddenly change. With the scythe, that does talk about sudden, unexpected change, or a sudden break from each other. I do kind of intuitively feel that this may have been part of what has brought about that break. It may have been like that energy of it's too like I'm this person makes me feel too vulnerable coming from your person. So I feel as though, it kind of scared them a little bit, I feel. Okay. And we are seeing the clouds, which is basically thoughts and overthinking things. So I feel as though that's definitely your person going on this tangent of, I wish I had treated you differently. I hope you can forgive me. They're sort of overthinking and quite anxious about how you perceive them, I feel, okay, about their sudden breakaway from. I feel as though this is from you, okay? So this person, I feel, left you kind of unexpectedly and didn't sort of really, I don't know that there may have been much closure there. And I do feel as though the intimacy scared them is what I'm intuitively getting from that there. But we are sort of seeing with your advice, first and foremost there, we do have the city, okay, which that is followed by the bear and then the book energy there. I just want to double check with my booklet here and just make sure I'm telling you the right things, okay? Because the city, obviously, quite busy and frenetic energy, quite hectic going on, lots of people kind of involved. So it's kind of just letting you know, stay busy at this current time, stay active, stay organized, and that will help actually bring in new opportunities for you. So keep your life pretty fast paced, keep your thoughts fast paced. Don't dwell on anything too much at the moment, Leo, and that will really actually help you steer clear there of all that negative, overthinking kind of energy. We are also seeing the bear. So the bear is, the protective mama bear, quite protective of themselves, as well as, they do stand strong, a very strong and powerful card. Okay, so they are quite strong and powerful. It really does talk about standing in your own power, staying strong, and and being protective of yourself, having firm boundaries within yourself. Okay, especially when it comes to new chapters coming into your life. Okay, so it's when we're staying busy, staying frenetic, being involved with like lots of new people. We are going to be bringing around some new chapters for yourself there. So definitely the story has not yet been written for you, and you have the power to write that story however you want it. But I do feel as though this time it's stand on your own 2 feet, stand tall, and keep yourself quite busy, and don't be afraid to involve yourself with quite a lot of people at this time, whether that just be getting out and about with friends and all that sort of stuff. That busy vibe is really going to be helping you at the moment. I feel there, Leo, helping you find these new chapters in your life for yourself. All right. Okay, so we will move over to Virgo. How are we today, Virgo? Just looking today at the past energy for you there. So Virgo and the past person, please. Virgo and the past person. Okay, so I feel you leaving me behind. I want to be more than friends. Okay, so someone feels that you are sort of, yeah, you've moved on from them, and they still want to be more than friends with you, Virgo. You don't know how hard it was to let you go. Okay, so, obviously flip it if necessary there, but someone is feeling that, someone is leaving someone behind energetically, and they're being forced to let you go, even if they do want to be more than friends. Okay, we'll have a look here. Virgo and the past person, please. Virgo and the past person. Okay, and advice for Virgo. Advice for Virgo, please. One more for advice for Virgo, please. Interesting. Okay, Virgo. What's going on with this connection is it is transforming, it is transmuting into something else altogether. I do feel as though this is talking directly about this past connection. The energy that was there with you and this past connection is actually transforming into something altogether different. Okay, and I do feel as though we do have the mirror here. I do feel as though that's just within you. So the energy that you've put into this past connection, you're now actually transforming it into something where it's giving you that opportunity to look yourself in the mirror and see what it is that you want to transform about your own, behaviors, your own attitudes when it comes to connections, all those sorts of things. It's giving you that opportunity to really sort of see yourself reflected in a positive light and a transform like a transformed way, to really look at yourself and look at how much you've grown. Okay, with that, I feel you leaving me behind. I feel as though that's you growing and changing from the person that you were while you were in that connection. Okay, so you may look back at the person that you were while you were in that connection, and you're a totally different person. We all grow and change, every single day. And if you actually stop and look back at the way that you presented to the world while you were within that connection, and then looking at yourself in the mirror today, and really taking note of the way that you have transformed and grown as a person there, Virgo. And then we are seeing the letter card as well. Okay, so there may be some sort of important communication upcoming between you and this person, but I do feel as though that communication is actually just you looking at yourself in the mirror, looking and talking to yourself about, wow, I really have changed. I do feel as though that's talking to yourself kind of communication, communicating with your inner self, and that reflection of yourself that you see in other people, and those sorts of things as well, Virgo. So I feel as though that's actually got nothing to do with your past person. It's got all to do with you, Virgo. And we are seeing your advice at the moment is the astral card. Okay, so the astral card really does talk about, the dreamscape kind of places. It can talk about, things like astral traveling and that sort of a thing as well. It is one of the jokers of the deck, so it is a very wild card. It can mean a lot of different things there, but it's really, yeah, um, that higher state of mind that you find within yourself. Okay, so like I said, looking in the mirror and communicating with that higher self of yours, so that's probably going to be some really good advice for you there. As well as we do have the tower and the dog. Okay, so I feel as though this tower is actually, it's pretty straightforward here, just letting us know to build some stronger foundations in friendships. Okay, so making sure we're building strong foundations and solid sort of friendships in our life to give us that support, build that loyalty with people, build that compassion with people, and that will actually serve you really, really well in the future. Okay, so friendships can be super important when it comes to giving yourself compassion But the Tower just here telling us, build strong foundations within friendships. Okay, so maybe coming across some new people in your life that are actually going to be, fantastic, supportive friends for you there, Virgo. It does seem like it's going to be quite important to you in the near future. Okay, so we'll move over to Libra. How are we today, Libra? Just looking at the past connection for you. Libra and the past person, please. Libra and the past person. Past person and Libra. Okay, Libra, we do have, I will wait for a sign from you. So it feels as though this person is waiting on something from you because they can't stop thinking about you. Strong in their thoughts, hey? And I left you before you could leave me, which that particular card is a card of fears. Okay, so they obviously have some issues where they feared that you were going to leave them regardless, whether you were or weren't. That was part of their fears, and they may have left you before you could actually leave them. They may have pushed you away, that kind of a vibe. But they are, still thinking a lot about you and waiting on you. Like, I feel as though if you were to, send that person a text, they'd be all over that within seconds, okay? Libra, what's going on for Libra and the past person? Libra and the past connection, what's going on? Okay, and why that? I just want to get clarity on why that third card, please. Why that third card, please? Okay, and advice for Libra. Okay, Libra, quite interesting message here. All right, your advice is pretty straightforward. So when we get to that, that'll be fine. But this, what's actually going on in this connection is, straight away we have the house and the candle here. So, I feel as though this is your person burning that flame for you, still burning, with desire and passion. When it comes to you, Libra, they did feel as though you are a stable sort of person, a secure person to have in their life. But we are sort of also seeing the chains, which was clarified by the octopus. Okay, so that is quite an interesting kind of a message of what's going on here. I do feel as though we might actually be just looking at both sides of the story. Okay, so I feel as though your person is, wanting to reestablish that sense of home, that sense of family with you. They still have this candle burning for you. They still are burning this holding this flame for you, and it's burning brightly still, and they really do want this security and stability back with you. But I feel like this might be actually you feeling restrained in some way, feeling as though uh, it's quite murky. You're quite bound. Like you may even feel somehow bound to this past connection, but also that it binds you. Okay, so that it's like you feel like it holds you back, kind of a vibe, because with the octopus is quite intelligent, and is going to recognize any chains and escape any trap. Okay, so I feel as though this is kind of you, like, you know, clouding the waters with your ink, so that you can escape these chains. You may have felt that this connection was somehow, you know, not serving your highest good, and you may have actually been thinking about that, in quite a mature, intelligent way, and realizing that it doesn't serve your highest good. So you've kind of, you know, broken free of these chains, and um and not wanting to sort of be chained to that or chained down at all. Okay, so I kind of feel that we're looking at two different energies there, but you know, obviously, you know, flip it around if it fits better the other way, and you're the one, you know, burning that flame. They may feel as though, you are binding them, and they don't want to be. It feels like that. It feels like that energy of not really wanting to be bound to anyone or anything, and wanting to break free of any chains. Okay, and thinking that, yeah, thinking that it's, you know, the smart choice to stay away, if that kind of makes sense. But what we're kind of seeing as your advice, this is why it leads me to believe that you guys are the ones with that chain and octopus rather than your person, is because this is quite a clear message. It is the mice there and the astral card as well. Okay, so the mice, as you can see, they're bound in little red string, if you can see that. They do have little red string wrapped around them there. So, you know, the red string of fate, it can talk about, you know, it may feel as though it was a very fated connection, in some extent. But it's kind of letting us know with that astral card that you're accepting the loss. That's your advice, is to accept the loss, and sort of, you know, that it's for your higher good. Because the astral card really does talk about that astral level, that higher self, that, you know, dream space kind of energy, you know, and things like astral traveling as well, but I don't think that's relevant here. But it really does talk about, you know, um, going above and going above this energy. So, you know, accepting the loss, and, you know, even once again, they're bound in this red string, and it's, you're not wanting to be bound, so you're wanting to go up above that, and that it's for your highest good to, you know, accept the loss and move on, is kind of the message I'm getting, with that one for you guys. But obviously, like I said, you know, energies can always be flipped around. They can always change, as well as, you know, you may want to check other placements or things like that as well. All right. We'll move over to Scorpio. How are we, Scorpio? Just looking today at your past connection there. So Scorpio and the past person, please. Scorpio and the past person, please. I don't know why, Scorpio, but I just got in my head, and this is so bizarre. I just got in my head when I said Scorpio and the past person. It came into my head, are you sure it was a person and it wasn't a deity? So, okay, you may think of this past person as like, a god or a goddess. Okay, they may be your goddess or something. So that may mean something to somebody there. But it was just, that's such a bizarre thing for me to get. So I just thought I'd mention that to you, Scorpio. Scorpio and this past person, please. It keeps saying every time I say the word person. Scorpio and the past person, please. Unless like, have you changed religion, Scorpio? There might be a few Scorpios out there that have changed religion. Maybe that's what that's about. Scorpio and the past person, please. I don't react when people mention you, okay? So they're, that's the kind of energy of trying not to react when people mention you because they're trying not to give away how they truly feel. I am so attracted to you, Scorpio. Well, we all know Scorpio has a certain reputation, so. And you and I were too young, okay? So young doesn't necessarily mean in age. It could also just mean maturity levels as well, Scorpio. Okay, Scorpio and this past person, please. Advice for Scorpio, please. Advice for Scorpio. One more for advice for Scorpio. Please clarify the advice for Scorpio, please. Okay, I'm just going to double check my booklet here because I do have some of the new energy cards have come through for you there, Scorpio. Firstly, we have the fungi card, followed by the moth, and then the tower card there as well. All right. So the tower definitely does talk about, past energy. But I'll just have a look here. The fungus card, the fungi card. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So, because mushrooms, right? They grow from compost. Okay. So it's with the moth. It's like something that was, elements within this connection that were, possibly toxic or poisonous, because some mushrooms can be poisonous, but also that element of, mushrooms grow from compost. Okay, so as things break down and they can grow brand new things, but totally different things. And then we've got the moth, which is all about sort of that metamorphosis, that transformation. So it's kind of like, I feel what's happening in this connection is there were some elements in this connection that, may have been sort of the decomposing elements or, the compost elements. And you are now actually, I feel like this is just sort of talking about you, Scorpio. You were using those elements to metamorphosize, to transform those past elements. They may have been like behaviors that were toxic, that kind of a thing. You're using those to transform yourself and transform the way you sort of look at future connections as well. So you're kind of looking back at the past a bit here, because look at the tower. It's got this particular tower is actually a lighthouse. In quite a lot of the tower cards, it's more like a fortress, but this one is a lighthouse. Okay, so that's sort of shining the light back on the past, to see all these things that were toxic to you or from you, and using them to really transform for the future and to build stronger foundations in the future. Okay, so that's actually a really positive message. Like, even though, what I'm talking about, toxicity and poison and such, can be, a daunting kind of words, but it does feel like this transformation, this energy here is super positive. This butterfly, it's come out of its chrysalis, it's become something completely different. Okay, and I feel like that's you. You're shining the light on all this stuff back here, and using it to, turn yourself into this beautiful butterfly in the future. So that's actually really nice. I quite like that. And then your advice. Okay, so we do have the feminine energy, which is followed by the birds energy there. And then the coffin energy, which was clarified by the lily as well. Okay, so what we're kind of seeing with those three is, we do have both the feminine on one end and then the lily on the other, which are both quite emotional driven cards. Okay, so we are probably looking at, the more emotional side of things. So talking about, your advice is to sort of look at your emotions and look at, like, I feel like it's connected to this, shining the light on these as well. All right, so connecting your emotions, looking at your emotions, um, and how you actually feel about the past loss, any grief or loss that you have from losing this connection in the past, and looking at the way things ended as well with the coffin card there. The coffin really does talk about that death and like with the mushrooms as well, that decaying of the situation. So your advice is kind of to just keep on doing that, looking back at the past and using that to sort of spur you on to be more emotionally intimate in the future, and really using the emotional connectivity with whatever's happened in the past, that was a little bit toxic, or the way things ended, the sense of loss that you might have with that, and really sort of using that to transform that energy into these positive emotional vulnerabilities that are actually going to really stand the test of time. It does have an element of longevity with it as well. So it's talking about making these changes, looking back at the past, and it's actually going to help transform you for the better for a long time to come. So it's going to be sort of long standing changes in your life coming through. So your advice is to just sort of keep on doing what you're doing and reflecting upon these past energies, and it'll keep you on the right sort of path. So that's quite interesting. So like I said, that moth energy was actually coming through super positive for you there as well. So stay on that path, keep transforming and metamorphosizing. Be the beautiful butterfly that you can be, Scorpio. Okay, so moving on to Sagittarius. How are we today, Sagittarius? We're just looking at your past person tonight. So Sagittarius and the past person. Sagittarius and their past person, please. Okay. Got a very similar energy from one of the other readings. I can't quite remember which one, but you may want to check your other placements or check your person's placements. We have I am becoming a better person. Okay, so they feel as though they're growing from everything that has happened, but just being near you is intoxicating. So still, quite a lot of energy there. But what's important to note is, the word intoxicating does have the word toxic in there. Okay, so you may trigger them in some ways. Okay, and I knew exactly what I was doing. Okay, so that does show an awareness. And that's probably why they are trying to grow as a person, if they are aware of what they have done in the past, past behaviors that may have been rooted in toxic behavior or obsessive type energy there. Okay, they knew exactly what they were doing. Sagittarius and this past connection, please. Sagittarius and this past connection. Okay, and advice for Sagittarius. Advice for Sagittarius. Okay, I have divine timing on the bottom of the deck there as well. So if you're hoping for reconciliation and you keep on manifesting that, it definitely will be possible with the divine timing card. Things happen in the way that they are supposed to, when they are supposed to. But as we know, time is pretty fluid as well. Okay, but for what's going on with this connection, we do have the feminine energy. So, not genderizing there, but the feminine energy usually is quite emotional. We do also have the bear. So the bear is quite protective. So it feels as though you or this person are still very protective of your emotional space, protecting yourself, standing in your power, respecting your own boundaries, that kind of a thing. And then we do have the astral card as well. So you or this person may actually be dreaming about each other. That really does talk about, sort of that dreamscape, the astral realm there. So, astral traveling. So, that there may be a little bit more to dreams that you have about this person than what you initially sort of perceive. There may be some information coming through to you in dreams, but it's really talking about with that protection card in the middle there, and being a little bit defensive of your emotions. It's really talking about looking out for your higher self at this time as well. That really is your higher levels, the higher mind, your higher self as well with that astral card. So super protective of emotions and your highest good as well. All right. Now, for your advice, we do firstly have the heart, followed by the moth, and then the anchor as well. Okay, so with the heart, it's just really talking about coming from a space of love. Okay, so with your advice just being to focus on the love within yourself, that love for yourself as well. All right, so it's just talking about being in that loving space and thinking about things with love rather than with negativity. All right. And that will actually really help you transform any negative energy into more positive energy for you. The moth is all about metamorphosis and transformation. Okay. So it can help you get a lot of clarity as well. Be the butterfly that you really are with this love pouring out of your heart. Okay, opening your heart to transforming. It's a lovely kind of energy, that moth, especially with that love card there, the heart card. And then with the anchor there, I really do feel as though this anchor is just talking about staying put in that loving space, staying put in that transformative energy. The anchor really holds us safe and secure. So you hold yourself steady, in that um loving space, and staying secure within yourself, while you transforming energy can sometimes be a bit rough on certain people here. So, while we're transforming and metamorphosizing, really, putting that anchor down so you can weather any storm that comes your way as well. So that's your advice there, Sagittarius. Let me know how that resonates for you guys in the comments. Everyone that comments also goes in the draw for a free personal when that is drawn. But I'll move over to Capricorn. How are we, Capricorn? Just looking today at past energies. So we're looking at your past person, Capricorn, and the past person, please. Capricorn and the past person, please. Oh, two came out then. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, so the first one that has come out there is I want you, Capricorn. Okay, so that feels like a very desire based I want you rather than I need you or anything like that. They want you. They it feels like they do want you back in their life with that card. Okay. So many things remind me of you. So still heavy on their mind, I feel, with that one. And then the two that came out together, You came closer than anyone, and I am grateful for the spiritual lesson. Okay, so it feels like, they let you closer to their truth and their heart than anyone else before. You came closer to showing them that love can exist, okay, than anyone before you, or whatever. It doesn't necessarily mean on a romantic level, but you came closer to opening them up than anyone has before. It can mean quite a lot of things, but you came closer than anyone, and I'm grateful for the spiritual lesson. So they really are sort of looking back, so many things reminding them of you, and being grateful for that spiritual lesson. So they're definitely, reminded of you in a lot of ways, and probably also in the ways that they've grown as well. I feel as though, you coming closer than anyone, it shows that you probably did really help this person grow as a person, and understand love in a way that they may not have understood it before. I hadn't actually asked a question yet, but I did have a card just fly out, which was the fish card. So that's the abundance card. So I feel as though that's actually kind of just confirming that that same energy that we were just talking about, that you really did help them grow abundantly, okay? And you can see in this card here, there's not many decks where the fish card is actually just two fish. So it really does speak to me quite a lot of the time when it's just the two fish, that it's like, you're my fish, and they still want you. So I'm going to put that with that one. You're my fish, and I still want you to be my fish. Okay. And well, so what's going on with Capricorn? My English today all over the place. Pretty bad at the best of times, since I'm Australian, and I do understand, a lot of my viewers are from America. So, if you do have trouble understanding some of the things I say, please let me know in the comments, and I'll try to be more careful with the way I word things if you're struggling with the Australian accent. I'm, self-identified as a bit of a bogan here in Australia, so sometimes my words do come out very slang. Okay, Capricorn and this past person, please. Just having a look. I'm trying to decide which, if I need some clarification for that message. I will just grab one to clarify. Can I please get a clarification? Okay. And advice for Capricorn, please. Advice for Capricorn. Once again, I feel like I need one card to clarify here. Why that middle card, please? Clarification for that middle card, please. Interesting. Okay, Capricorn. We have, for what's going on in this connection, we have the mouse card firstly there. So you can kind of see in this mouse card, the little mice have a little red string wrapped around them. So that basically talks about that red string of fate. So this is a very, there was an element of this being a very fated sort of connection, but also that it was also fated to be lost. in some way, shape, or form. Okay, so feeling the loss pretty strongly at this time. I feel, it probably is eating away at you a little bit that you have lost this connection. But here we have the mirror. So that's kind of talking about, you know, it can be talking about, looking yourself in the mirror in order to sort of grow. Like we did see that I am grateful for the spiritual lesson coming through there. Um, and so looking at yourself sort of in the reflection of yourself of why this is such a big loss to you, why this is such a big why it's eating away at you so badly there. But I do feel as though it may just be talking about um, you guys mirroring each other quite a lot. So um, you guys might have been very reflective of each other, and your behaviors toward each other may have actually been quite reflective of, and triggering to each other. So with the mirror element, we do sort of see that, sometimes when we see things within somebody else that kind of trigger us a little bit, it's reflective of things within ourselves that we're fearful of, or, that we still need some growth on that sort of aspect, or whatever. So it's kind of just talking about looking yourself in the mirror and working out what exactly it is about this connection that is eating away at you, and why that loss is kind of eating away at you a little bit there. Because then we are seeing, the ship energy, and then that was all clarified by the rose energy there. Okay, so with the rose energy, it really does talk about, I feel like this is talking about that mirror energy where it's talking about, you know, th- the rose is a symbol of love, kind of thing, symbol of romance. But roses have thorns. Okay, so I feel like that's kind of what the mirroring aspect is that um, looking at love, but also looking at the thorns that have hurt you, and why is something so beautiful hurting me so much? Is kind of what I'm getting with that energy there. And then with the ship coming through, it feels as though it it actually feels like this is actually your person more so than you. You're kind of standing there looking at the mirror, and wondering, you know, why this hurts so much, why I'm still feeling such a loss with this connection. Whereas your person's kind of setting sail. Whether they're setting sail to you or away from you, I don't know. I might grab just one more to sort of get a bit more detail about that. With this ship energy, are they sailing towards Capricorn or away from Capricorn? Okay, so Capricorn, I can pretty safely say they may actually be headed your way, because we do have the Mountain card, and the Mountain card is the Capricorn card. Okay, so I'm just gonna, like, I'm not even gonna worry about, because I just asked a pretty like a confirmation question, and we got the Capricorn card when I was asking specifically about, are they headed towards Capricorn or elsewhere, and then we see Capricorn. So I think that's our answer. Um, so it does feel as though they're willing to embark on this journey with Capricorn all over again. So there may be some sort of reconciliation energy coming in for you guys. They may be sort of willing to set sail and start this journey, travel towards you, cut the distance. If there's any physical distance, they might be willing to sort of cut the distance between you guys and head your way. So quite interesting, Capricorn. Um, it's obviously up to you. It might be different for each and every person within the Capricorn collective, whether that's something you're even willing to entertain or not. But that's kind of what we're getting there. When it comes to your advice, Capricorn, we are seeing firstly the feminine energy. Okay, so the feminine energy really does talk about emotions and being nurturing. Okay, so it's advising us to, stand in our emotions and be quite loving and nurturing. And I kind of want to say I did last weekend I did do the Mother's Day reading, and that was all about that feminine energy. So might be worth watching that video and seeing, because I have no idea by now. Like, as soon as I do a reading, I pretty much forget it. Majority of the time I wipe it from my mind so I can move on to the next energies. So there may be something within that reading important to you there, Capricorn. I'm just getting that vibe there that it's muchly based in that feminine energy. Okay, and there's quite a lot when it comes to the feminine energy. So somehow that may be important to you at this time when it comes to your advice. All right, and then we have the ruins card, which is actually followed by the candle. So that was the clarification that I drew there. I just want to double check my booklet here because these cards are still relatively new to me. So yeah, the ruins is talking about the collapse of the connection. Obviously, it fell. It was not fully built. It was not. It may have felt like wasted effort. Um, it may be broken, diminished, all those kinds of things. Maybe a lot of time has passed. But then with that candle, that it it's a very interesting energy because I read the candle because it's that flame still burning. It just feels like there may have been a lot of time that's passed between this past connection when it went to sort of ruin, so to speak. But the flame is still burning bright, and there's still a lot of passion there, which we saw with that "I want you" oracle card coming through. The passion and the desire is still strong, and there's a lot of warmth and possibly something illuminating in the near future. It is a little bit similar to the sun in that energy that it can bring light to a situation as well. So I feel like there may be once again I'm getting that same energy from that we got with that ship card, that you may be having to stoke the fire, attend to the fire, attend to the ruins, like set fire to the ruins. It feels like energy that's coming back around, to be honest, Capricorn. It really does. And then that is actually followed up by the wishes card, star card there. So that's all about wishes and desires and wish fulfillment and all your dreams coming true. So my advice would be to, really focus on what it is that you truly wish for, whether it be within this connection or whether you are wishing for a brand new connection. Really, really focus on, making those desires known to the universe, because, the universe can only fulfill what you ask of it. So if you wish upon a star, make sure it's a clear wish. Maybe sit there and decide whether you really you want this to stay in a ruin state or whether you do want to bring that flame back to life with this person, because I feel as though it could go either way, but I feel as though there definitely may be an opportunity soon coming up within this connection. There may be something coming up soon that's going to, you know, bring you that opportunity to actually receive what it is that you do wish for when it comes to this connection. All right. So it's up to you whether you are wishing for that connection to sort of be history, be a ruin, and be part of history. People can go back and take photos, and that's about it. Or or if you actually want to rebuild that lost city, so to speak. All right. Okay, so we'll move over to Aquarius. How are we, Aquarius? Just looking today at your past person. So Aquarius and the past person, please. Aquarius and the past person. Aquarius and the past person, please. So we've had one jump out as well. So I'll grab that. Which is, I can't stop thinking about you, Aquarius. So that one flew out of the deck at us. I can't stop thinking about you. Okay, so your person being in, a lot of thought but when it comes to you, especially too when we see this one, I remember every detail of that day. So they're thinking quite a lot about you and about things that may have happened in the past. There may have been a specific day, whether positive or negative, that is sort of stuck on a loop in their memory and they're going over it and they can't stop thinking about it. But finding out the truth crushed me. Okay, so that does give me the vibe that there may have been something revealed to them that sort of has led to this ending. So, I don't want to blame anyone, but it does feel as though, your person is, they may have realized something or come to some realization that actually really hurt them when it comes to this connection. So Aquarius and the past person, please. Aquarius and the past person. Okay, and one more for Aquarius and the past person, please. Okay, and advice for Aquarius, please. Advice for Aquarius. Interesting energy, Aquarius. Firstly, with this connection, we have the octopus, which is followed by the animus, the masculine energy there. Then the child energy and the letter energy. Okay, so when straight away when I see that letter energy, that is a communication card. I don't want to get your hopes up though if you are hoping to hear from this person, because I do feel as though it's actually talking about communicating with your inner child. Okay, I just wanted to say that straight away. I do feel, that octopus is, and I'm seeing this repeated in the advice as well, but I feel that octopus and that masculine energy is you. And we are sort of looking at, someone who's super smart, very intelligent and cunning about the way that they do things, thinking things through quite logically as well with that masculine energy. He is very stoic and in control of his emotions, and can, with the octopus, can squeeze through a small gap and make it work for him. Okay, no, but it could be talking a little bit of clouded judgment maybe when it comes to this connection. With the idea that octopus squirt the ink there, and it can sort of cloud the waters, so to speak. But I feel that's talking about emotionally. So you maybe feeling your emotions are a little bit clouded. So we're really sort of in this mind space at the moment, thinking things through quite logically. But really needing to talk to our inner child, like I said, needing to sort of assess what's gone on within our inner child, and what's happened between you and this person. Is there some correlation between a childhood fear of yours? Like I know for a lot of people that fear of being alone and being needing to be codependent can be a bit of an issue, when it comes to your inner child work and stuff like that. So I feel as though really needing to communicate with your inner child and think things through logically, like, why did I do this? Why did they do that? That kind of a vibe, and really thinking it through logically, but keeping in mind, inner child stuff when it comes to the way that you're thinking about things. All right, and but also a secondary message here for some of you. This may mean, communication in its infancy. So there may be some sort of communication restarting between the two of you in the near future, but that's not for everybody, okay? For majority of you, it is talking about looking at your inner child, and the things that, the patterns that we've set in our life from when we were, growing, and the way that we have grown and the way that we have dealt with things our whole life, and really looking at those logically and working out why we act the way we do, why we, why other people act the way they do. Like, are they acting out from something that, they were fearful of in their childhood, and so on and so forth, but really talking to that inner child. And that's kind of exacerbated with your advice here, because we do have the fox energy there, followed by the clouds energy, and then we have the city energy. So the city energy is a little bit separate, but and it's kind of warning us, don't overthink as well. Just that city touching the clouds there, it's kind of, don't let yourself go, overthink to the point where you are getting anxiety from overthinking, okay? But also that, we did see the I can't stop thinking about you card as well. So maybe you are already a little bit, overly thinking about this past connection as well. But the fox energy, he really is a super clever energy, thinking things through cleverly, and, with your own self, survival at the heart of it all, okay? So he really is quite an independent energy, but with the clouds, it's really talking about thinking things through, being quite smart with the way that we're thinking things through, think, like, once again, quite logical as well. So like I said, it's carrying on through. The side message with the city coming through is keep yourself busy, okay? The city is, frenetic, busy, lots of people everywhere. So surround yourself with people, still maintain that independent thought and thinking things through clearly within yourself. But, surrounding yourself with people and keeping yourself super busy might be really helpful to you at this time as well, Aquarius. All right. So that's what I've got for you, Aquarius. Make sure you leave me a comment and let me know what you think. Everyone that comments will go in the draw for a free personal reading as well. But we'll move over to Pisces. How are we, Pisces? Just looking today at the past person energy. Pisces and the past person, please. Well, we have one fly out there. Pisces and the past person, please. Find that other card. Sorry about my forehead there, guys. Okay, so we see, I wish I could share my good news with you. So someone may have some good things going on in their life, and just feeling as though they can't actually talk it over with you. We are seeing a bit of, wanting to talk to you and things like that going on here. I replay our conversations over and over. So yeah, reminiscing on having those conversations with you where they could share things with you. And then it was my fault, but I blamed you. Okay, so they blamed you for something, but they are well aware that they are the ones in the wrong with whatever that was. It was my fault, but I blamed you. Okay, that's a pretty clear kind of message, isn't it, Pisces? So we may be looking at someone who, put a lot of blame on you and whatnot, which, seems very unfair if they know that it was their fault. Okay, Pisces and this past person, please. Okay, and one more to clarify that third card, please. and advice for Pisces. Interesting. Okay, one more for that third card, please. Needing some extra clarification for you guys, Pisces. One more for that third card, please. Clarify that third card for Pisces advice, please. Right. Okay, yeah. All right. So, Pisces, what's going on in this connection? We are seeing the coffin card there, which that by itself, straight away, that talks about a clear ending, something needing to end, which obviously we're talking about this past connection. It was sort of needing to end, and we see why straight away. Pisces, it was in your higher good. Your higher self knows that this ending was for the best. Okay, it serves you. It serves your highest good to, close that coffin and walk away. Sometimes the coffin can talk about death and rebirth, but not this particular coffin. You can kind of see the chains wrapping around that one there. So it really does talk about an ending, the death of a situation that needed to happen. All right. And then it's sort of, we're seeing you here, Pisces, that was for your highest good. Okay, the astral card really does talk about your highest good, and it can also talk about, it illuminates a lot more for you on that astral realm. It may bring through some interesting dream frames. Um, you may be dreaming about this person, they may be dreaming about you. It does talk about that astral plane as well. You can kind of see here with the third eye. I do feel as though you Pisces do know that your intuition is telling you that this closure was the best thing. This closed out cycle here was the best thing for your highest good, and that's kind of supported by, I do have the bouquet, which is followed by the feminine energy, the anima energy there. Not to genderize the male and female cards there. The feminine is just, protect your emotional sort of side, and you giving to that. Okay, so you giving to yourself. Rather than this connection that was obviously not serving you, you're starting to give to yourself, so that you can start receiving, a higher level of that nurturing energy towards yourself. Okay, the flowers is all about giving energy, all right, and that reward and pleasure just in being yourself here. I feel, Pisces, I feel definitely this is you sitting here in this feminine energy, nurturing yourself, all right. And then when it comes to advice for you, we do see the ship energy, all right? So it's really talking about taking a journey into this moth energy, all right? Because set sail into, and have fun with this journey. It's an adventure. This new adventure is transforming yourself, transforming your life. Okay, the moth is all about, that metamorphosis, that transformation. It's such a positive card. Like, when I first got this deck, I didn't realize how positive this card is actually going to come through, but it is a super positive card, and it kind of, we all know moths and butterflies are pretty much the same thing, right? So, it's setting sail on this adventure and opening up and being the butterfly that you truly are, Pisces. So it's a lovely energy, all right? Starting new journeys. You may be traveling in the near future. If you are offered the opportunity to travel, it really will help you transform negative energy into positive. And then thirdly, we did have the mountain card, which was clarified by the goat energy there. So the interesting thing to note with those two cards is I actually do see a lot of Capricorn symbolism in both of those cards. Okay, the mountain is the traditional Capricorn card for the lenormand, and a lot of us that know our astrology symbols do know that Capricorns are the goat of the zodiac as well. Okay, so quite interesting that there may be some a Capricorn that can help you along this journey. There may be actually a Capricorn coming in to your journey in the near future. We may be seeing a new connection coming through. But with the mountain there, it does talk about putting in this hard work to transform and start this journey, and rebelling against any obstacles in your path, because the goat really is this rebellious nature. Okay, and for some reason I want to say, do you know that song Rebel Yell? I can't remember how it goes, but look that up. That might be important for you guys. If that sort of feels like it means something to you, maybe that song does mean something for you there, that Rebel Yell song. But yeah, so it's climbing any obstacles in your path. The goat climbs any mountain and gets to the top and sees its way clear and can clearly see the path to walk on down. Every mountain, even though sometimes it is a bit of a challenge or somewhat of a delay, they are a real big opportunity, and I feel it's this opportunity to transform. Okay, and so you're rebelling against all the obstacles in your way, and you're really climbing that mountain at the moment, Pisces. So kudos to you guys. Keep on climbing and you will get to the top. Okay, definitely some positive energy coming in there for you, Pisces, to finish off our reading today. So thank you for that, and thank you all for all your time, and hopefully I'll see you all again soon.